if the greatest love of your life was waiting for you 800 years in the past? Well, that is explored with Miss Jacqueline Bishop's Silver Flame series. And this explores romance, but it also catapults readers into medieval kingdoms where love must survive war, betrayal, and magic. So we are here to talk about an amazing book series. And if this floats your boat, if you're the kind of person that likes medieval history and magic and you want more of that, this is the perfect book for you. Or even if you say, I'm so tired of just read like the present day, it stresses me out so much. I need the escapism. I need to broaden my horizons. This might be the perfect book and book series for you. So, Miss Jacqueline Bishop, glad to see you. Glad to be speaking with you.
Nice to see you too.
Wonderful. And we're it's nice to see each other. And so we're talking about, you're a published author. You have this book called the Silver Flame series, and the first book is called Eternal Echoes. So can you tell us about just like what this book is and who you are as an author?
Well, it's a series about two people called Tristan and Olivia. He's back in the past, and she's now in 2025. She's a nurse, and she finds this book in an old bookstore, and she takes it home and reads it. There's an amulet inside it, and she's reading about Tristan. He was betrayed and he was killed, and it was all very sad. So she gets her amulet and she says the words that are in the book, and she's transported back to 1416. And she meets him, and they fall in love, of course, and she saves him. Yay!
Yeah. Well, that sounds wonderful. And so, what inspired you to write this book? Right? There's like who knows, millions of books, and we're always looking to have like a unique, new, interesting plot. What was the genesis of this?
Well, I was watching this series on TV, which I can't remember the name. It was called. Had Andy McDowell in it, where they jumped in the water and they were transported to another time. And I thought that was really interesting, so I just kind of went from there.
Well, nice, and you made it your own. And so, I noticed that you have this tagline where passion meets peril. So, what's that all about?
Well, Tristan and Olivia are in love, and they just meet all kinds of obstacles and people trying to kill them, and yeah, a lot of struggle in it.
Yeah, and that makes for an entertaining read, right? They call that a page turner, and it's always really cool when there's just like multiple facets of a book, right? Multiple angles. There's the romance, there's the action, there's also the history of it. So was that difficult, like when you have to sometimes go and like research these historical details and make sure they're accurate? Was that a lot of work, or did it just flow out of you?
Well, it wasn't a lot of work. I enjoy doing research. It takes place in the time of King Henry V when he was fighting the Hundred Years' War with France. So, I just looked up all that stuff.
And is there anything that surprised you, like when you're figuring out those finer, minute details? Was there anything where in your research you're like, oh my gosh, like I thought of history in a incorrect way, or I have to change this detail?
Not so much because I didn't really know anything about the Hundred Years' War.
Okay. And so you're a blank slate, and you went and looked it up. And so I know that the locations are always fascinating, right? There's this something took place, and then you can go and like look up the actual picture of like this or that castle, or you can look up how this or that battle during the Hundred Years' War took place. Did you have fun like looking up these castles, or like the ruins or the locations?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's all really very interesting. And I love history. It's fun to learn.
And so, can you help us learn a little bit? I mean, I know I feel like the 100 Years War, I don't I you're really making me dig back into like, high school and all that sort of stuff. I remember like Joan of Arc and stuff like that. So like 100 Years War, can you tell us like just what that was all about, just for a historical context?
Well, King Henry and King Francis, they King Francis wanted England and King Henry wanted France. So they were just fighting.
Okay. And so as far as when there's the fighting and the time travel, like she uses Olivia uses magic to get back into, you say 1416, is that the year?
Yeah.
And once she gets
That
there, like, oh, go ahead.
she she has that amulet that she found, and it guides her. It She feels it and it guides her.
And so, is there more magic? Like, there's a time travel, and the amulet guides her. Can she go back to the present? Can she go back and forth? Is there more to like the fighting and
Yes.
the adventures? Like, it's not just okay. She's transported, and then she's stuck in the physical real world rules. Like, she can use more magic to get out of some scrapes.
Um, in the middle book, Eternal Vows, Tristan gets hurt very badly, and so she was a nurse back in 2025. So she realizes there's nothing she can do with what they have there. So she takes him back to 2025 to heal him. And then they have to find the heart of Elander. So they find the heart of Elander, and then they go back to 1416.
Well, what an adventure. And so I don't know a lot about the self-publishing, the fiction and the romance, but it seems like, just as a layperson, that the book series are really common, right? We like there's not a lot of like, well, there's this one singular book and it's a hit and it just stands on its own. It seems like now people want more, right? We're in this age of the Hollywood sequels and the streaming services, so it seems like it's correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like it's common, right, to have not just one book, but a book series. That way, we like it, we can get more of it.
Yeah. When I wrote Eternal Echoes, I loved my people so much. I was going to stop with Eternal Echoes, but I couldn't. I just kept going.
And do you think, like, sometimes you hear about when the characters come alive, right? And I guess we all experience that. We daydream about, oh, this person like I saw in a movie or like read in a book. Like sometimes your brain just daydreams. You're like, oh yeah, I wonder what Tristan's up to. So did that happen to you? Did the
Oh,
characters and
yeah.
the just kind of come alive for you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. My characters, they like talk to me and tell me where to go, what to do. I think all authors have that.
Yes, it's kind of cool and spooky, isn't it? And so you make this book series, and you say like you wrote one, but then like there couldn't be enough. And so like, what are your future plans for this? Do you plan on just like keep cranking them out with regularity? Is there a definite conclusion? What's the bigger picture?
Well, I wrote 3 books. Last one is Eternal Flame, and it ends the story, but I left it open just in case I want to go back.
Ooh, I like it. And so yeah, that way you can have your cake and eat it too, right? You have
Yeah,
the door's kind of open a little crack, so like if you want your satisfying conclusion, it's maybe not necessarily a complete cliffhanger, but there's also more that can be done. And how has it been as far as like the feedback from the readers? Is that a big part of your process, like seeing what people like and adjusting?
yes, I love that part. When I don't want to brag, so I'm not bragging, but
Okay.
everybody who reads my books, they love them. They tell me that they love them. It makes me feel really good.
I can imagine. Yeah. And so what have you is there anything in particular that you think that like you've done to get yourself out there as an author? Like it'd be great if we could just, sit in a room and write something and everyone just somehow discovers it, but it's a cruel world out there, isn't it? You have
It
to do the
is.
publicity, the book signing, the podcast like we're on right now. So like what have you done that's maybe a little outside your comfort zone to get the word out?
Well, I haven't done anything until like 2 weeks ago. I wanted my books to be audio, so I started calling places that I saw on the internet, and I called audiobook publishing services, and I got a hold of Mark Williams, and he has just made so many things happen. It's so fast. I just don't know what to do.
Okay. Well, it's amazing what's possible, isn't it? And so, you called around to get the audiobook made, but as far as like the initial publishing, like, did you do that yourself? Did you go to a publisher for that? Like, how did that happen?
Well, originally I went to Amazon and got my books published through Amazon, but Mark Williams has taken it to a whole nother level.
Okay, well, great, and that's good to know for future aspiring authors, right? That you start where you're at, you can get it on Amazon first, and then when you see that initial reaction, you say, "Okay, I'll take this seriously. I'll devote time to it," and you can have someone pick that up. And was did it take a while to get from the idea to the published book? Because many authors struggle, right? Writer's block is real. It's something new, and so, like, what was that timeline like for you?
My very first book took me 11 years, but I think that was because I was married and I had 3 kids and, raising 3 kids and having a house and everything. I didn't have a lot of time. And now my kids are grown. My husband passed away last year, and I have all the time in the world to write. So I wrote Eternal Echoes, Eternal Vows, and Eternal Flame this year,
Oh,
all three
wow.
of them.
Oh wow! So you said now finally is the time. There's no excuses, and that's something that maybe we want to pick up on because sometimes you hear about these writers and their habits, right? Like Ernest Hemingway would write 500 words every single morning. Stephen King, 2,000 words. So do you have like a schedule or a process? Because we all say, okay, well, I'll write when I find the time, and sometimes you do find the time, and other distractions crop
Most of the
up,
time
right?
you don't.
Yeah, yeah. So what's your secret? How did you figure it out?
Well, now I just have me and my cat, and I can write anytime I want. So when I get up in the morning, I sit down and write. And then I go to lunch, and then I come back home and sit down and write. And then I go to dinner and come back home and sit down and write.
Okay. So
I
you
write
say,
about
oh,
10 hours a day.
so you say I've got 10 hours a day. I'll make sure to use them. And so, and you just do like make it a point to write every day because I'm sure there must be days when you're
Yes.
like, oh, I can do it tomorrow. I'm not really feeling it these days. What do you do on those down days?
I don't get them very often. Most of the time, I just can't wait to get back to it and write some more. On the down days, I just hang with my friends.
Okay, well, great. So you take care of yourself. And so speaking of friends, it's always helpful to have other people involved. So like, do you share your writing with friends or are you in
Yes.
like writing groups? Like, how do you kind of involve
Yeah,
other?
I'm in a writing group. I share it with my friends. I'm sure they get tired of hearing about it. And where I live, we have a creative writing and a book club. And so I stay pretty busy.
And I can imagine that, we all heard of these things, right? We heard of the writing groups where you share your stuff and the book clubs, but I can imagine there's so many people out there that are just deathly afraid of it, right? Like, oh, I have to bring my writing there. Like, won't people laugh at it? It'll be any good? Did you have any of that awkwardness, like when it came time, like the first book club meeting, the first writers group meeting? Like, were you afraid?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and but what was reality like?
I was lucky. Everybody liked everything I did. So I was really lucky.
And what is that like? Like, is it like everyone goes around and like updates everyone or reads their writing? Like, what is that sort of meeting like?
Well, creative writing, we all meet, and we're we're writing. All of us are just taking a little bit and writing. We discussed what it was going to be about. It's going to be about an independent living place, and for older people, and all the adventures and silly things that they get into.
Okay.
That's our creative writing. Everybody just says what they want to say, and then we decide what we're going to write about. Everybody writes something different. We're going to put it all together.
And I imagine that there's like encouragement is important, isn't it? Like
Oh
the
yeah,
when
very.
when you're stuck, then others motivate you, and then you can motivate others too, right? When there's
That's
like some
right.
up and
Yeah.
coming author, and you've got your 3 books out there. There's someone who's maybe they're afraid to even write one page, and so is there anyone in particular, or is there any like kind of like just helpful story you can share with us about just the that encouragement factor?
Well, I have a friend, her name is Susie Rowland, and she's a writer, and we exchange what we're writing and, give criticism of it and say what needs to be fixed and what sounds good. So she helps me a lot, and I help
Nice.
her.
You get that perspective, you get that sounding board. And so there's that part of writing where there's like the personal transformation, isn't there? There's like the self-expression of yourself, and like you have this idea of what your book will be like in your head, but then you put it out there, you go through a process, and then you yourself have changed as a result. So did you experience something similar? Do you feel like you kind of just like change on the inside as a person when you get these books done?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have different feelings about things. You learn things. Like I've learned a lot about the Hundred Years' War
Okay.
and other things. I write about a lot of different things, but I enjoy the learning process and the research. It's
So
good.
you learned about a lot about the Hundred Years' War. Like what else? Like what are there's like history and human character and about like writing and action. Like what else have you learned in your travels?
I don't know. Do you mean real travels or do you mean the book?
The book, like literary travels, like travels on the
Mm.
inside.
Oh, I've learned everything that I've put down in my book.
Okay. Well, speaking of that, do you have any future plans? Like, I know you mentioned that there's the possibility for more books in this series, but sometimes authors say, "Hey, I'll try some other series," or it's always fun, like the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, right? You say, "Oh, there's these 2 side characters. We'll go and see what adventures they're up to." And so, have you thought about that? Like, are there any other different books or book series in your future?
Well, the first book I wrote was Ravana, and it had 3 girls in it, and it kind of split, and 2 of the girls stayed with Ravana, and then the other girl, after I finished Ravana, I wrote that story for her.
Nice.
And
They call it a spin-off, right? There's this
yeah,
one character and they're so interesting. It's like I'd rather just focus on them.
yeah.
Well,
So I
awesome.
gave her a happy life.
Yeah, and you're the driver's seat, right? It's like you're a god in a way, right? You control their universe and what they're doing. You can say, well, they have a happy life, or they have all these struggles, adventures, but it's kind of it's fun, isn't it? Like you use your imagination,
Yes.
your creative output, give others pleasure, but there's also like the weird, like the subconscious kind of also makes its own strange decisions, and so we're just having a lot of fun talking about you and your writing process and this wonderful book and its plot. And in these last few minutes, I want to make sure that we talk about what's important to you, Miss Jacqueline Bishop, the author of Eternal Echoes, which is book 1 in the Silver Flame series. So, in this conversation we're having, Miss Jacqueline Bishop, is there a missing question that I should be asking you? I just don't know to ask you.
I don't know. I'm terrible. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
Sorry.
fair enough. They say no is a complete answer, right? You're completely allowed to say no. And next question, please. And so I guess you say that you put out this book, and there's always the possibilities of other books, and you're working on the audiobooks, getting those done. Is there anything that you think is interesting about the next 6 months? Like, are you planning on doing any other kind of like publicity, or just like what's next in your writing career in general?
Well, right now I'm writing a sequel to another book that I had written a few years ago. It's about two detectives. I love time travel,
Okay.
and like this girl goes on a 50-year anniversary cruise with her grandmother and her mother, and she's transported back to the maiden voyage.
Ooh, that's
That was a lot
exciting.
of fun. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. The ship had put out a book for everybody that left it in their room and about the first 50 years of the ship. And on the maiden voyage, the detective is murdered, but they never found out who murdered him. So when she goes back, she meets him and she keeps him from getting murdered.
Ooh, and I hope there's romance in there too.
Always.
All right, good. All right. So we've got detective story, we've got historical romance, and time travel is always just so interesting, isn't it? Because it's like the
Yes, I love
sa-
it.
same place, different time, fish out of water. There's the bootstrap paradox, time loop, cause and effect. Maybe your future self in the past gave a message to your past self in the future. You jump back and forth with magic. It's so much fun, right? It's so exciting. And so if someone is also excited and they say, I've got to get my hands on these books written by Miss Jackie Bishop, and the website is JacquelineBishopAuthor.com. What are some next steps here? Where should they go as far as like websites, social media, books? What are some, what's the call to action? What's some next steps?
Well, they can buy my books on Amazon, and I'm just going to keep writing because I love it.
Yes, why stop, right? Why limit yourself? Why be a one-hit wonder? It's not about you, it's about the reaction, right? It's about what authors love, and then you provide them to them, right? You're an entertainer. And so we say that Amazon page, you search Jacqueline Bishop, that's Jacquelyn Bishop, and you can go and find all the amazing books she currently has out. There is the 3 books in the Silver Flame series, and you can find Ravana. You can also find some other ones, can't you? Like I'm looking at, there's Lockdown, Charlie's Great Adventure, Tenders the Night, Hunter's Ridge, Bad Grandma. What are all those other books?
Well, I wrote Hunter's Ridge for my girlfriend who loves Westerns. It's not my best book. But anyway, I wrote it for her. Takes place during the Civil War, and it's okay.
Okay. It looks like,
Lockdown is
what's
what?
that? Oh yeah. Then Lockdown's another one, right?
Yeah, it's about a cat and a dog during COVID, what they think
Oh, that's
of
cute.
the people being home all the time, and it's funny. It's funny. And Charlie's Great Adventure is about a cat who got lost on a camping trip, trying to find his way back to his people. And Bad Grandma is about me and my grandkids, all the bad things that I get them to do.
Oh, cute. Yeah, and so the description says Grandma Jackie may seem like a sweet, ordinary grandmother, but behind her mischievous grin is a wild sense of adventure, whether it's sneaking into forbidden places, pulling off elaborate pranks, or outsmarting nosy neighbors. This fearless crew turns everyday life into one big hilarious adventure. Well, it's great just to hear about your inspiration, right? You go on, like you say, well, there's the cruise and the maiden voyage and the detective novel, and the I think you said like you saw a movie and that inspired Eternal Echoes. You never know where the inspiration will strike, and you get an idea of like, okay, well, here's something that's an existing story that works, but like I can do way better, right? I can add on these characters, I can add on all this intrigue and mix the genres. it sounds great, it sounds wonderful. And so to take some of those next steps, the hub, the central website is JacquelineBishop.com. You can go there, you can contact Jackie Bishop, you can read about these books, you can click over to her Facebook, her Instagram, you can get on her mailing list. But most importantly, what we really want you to do is click over on Amazon and get these books on Kindle. They're $4.99. And if you're on Kindle Unlimited, you get them for free. And we just would like you, if you're someone who likes the historical or the romance or the time travel or the action, then this sounds like the perfect book for you. It's Eternal Echoes, which is book 1 in the Silver Flame series. There's Eternal Echoes, Eternal Vows, and then Eternal Flame. So check out these books by Jacqueline Bishop on Amazon. But before I let you go, Miss Jackie Bishop, it's the scary part of the show where I try to stump you, I try to put you on the spot by asking you about a fun quote or lesson that has served you in any aspect of your life. So does anything come to mind as far as a fun quote or lesson?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Totally okay. Well, we've been speaking with Miss Jackie Bishop, who writes stories where passion meets peril and where love has the power to bridge centuries. She has a fascination for medieval history and an enduring love of romance. And that's why Jackie Bishop created the Silver Flame series to transport you as the reader into these richly detailed worlds filled with gallantry, betrayal, and the kind of devotion that defies time itself. So check out these amazing books, JacquelineBishopAuthor.com. Get the book, Eternal Echoes, book 1 in the Silver Flame series. You'll have so much fun. You'll be glad you did. And that will inspire and encourage Miss Jackie Bishop to write even more books in the future. So, Miss Jacqueline Bishop, it's been a blast speaking with you, hearing about these books and about just what you're all about, your process. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.